In this video, we're going to talk about motif development. Now, a motif is a musical idea, often a melodic idea. Now, that word melody is an interesting one because we can split melody into two things. So on one hand, we can have the pitch, which is interesting enough what we often focus on because we're thinking about, what notes should I play over that chord? Or what are the notes that I can play in that song? So we're thinking about the pitch. But today, I really want us to focus on the other side of melody, which is rhythm, which is why I've got this here, right? So right now, I've got 4 crotchets or 4 quarter notes, which might sound like this. So if I'm playing in the key of C minor, so let's say I'm playing a C minor chord, right? Okay, in fact, I'm going to play a backing track, so I'm going to play a rootless C minor 7 chord there, right? If you're interested in what I'm actually playing, so I'm simply playing E flat, G, B flat, sorry, and then D. Okay, so I'll play that because my backing track will then play the note C down there, okay, which in theory makes the chord a C minor 9. Okay, so I'm just not going to play the root. So I'm going to play, maybe I'll just play the note E flat. I'll play it in crotchets or in quarter notes. So listen to what this feels like. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's quarter notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what if I decided to play some other notes from, let's say, a C minor scale? So maybe I'll just play a C minor, but with just those 5 notes for now. Okay, so I'm going to play that using quarter notes. Okay, let's see what that feels like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so one thing that I should have mentioned there is when you're improvising, you don't necessarily want to always play the notes of the scale in order, so that's why I was mixing things up. So to me, or to jazz musicians, they are thinking of the scale as the pool of notes to draw from rather than the strict order of notes in which the music should be played. Okay, so we don't always have to play them in that order. In fact, the more variation we have, the better. Right, so that was me playing notes of my C minor scale, but just using a plain rhythm. After a while, that's going to get boring. So, I mean, that's okay sometimes, but what you can do is you can change some of the rhythms up. So if I just change, let's say, the first beat, I already start getting something quite interesting. Okay, so let's see. And quite different, I think, from what I had before. So check this out. What if I say 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. Okay, so I start getting different melodic ideas by simply altering some of the rhythms. Now, what if, for instance, I said, maybe let me change the last one. Okay, so now I've got 8th notes at the beginning and at the end. So on beat 1 and on beat 4. Okay, let's try and play that with the track and see what we might come up with. I'm actually going to extend my scale from just maybe just a 5-note scale, or a pentascale as we call it sometimes. Let me extend this to maybe I'll play a C Dorian. So I'll play C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, C. Right, so that's known as the Dorian mode. And the Dorian works well over a minor 7 chord. Right, so if I'm playing C minor, I can always play that scale. Right, C Dorian. And I mean, like I was doing before, that's my pool of notes to draw from. I'm not necessarily going to play the scale in that order all the time. Okay, but I will play notes from there. So I'm going to be thinking 1 and 2, 3, 4, and that's my rhythm there. Okay, I'm going to do that with a C minor. Da 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 da. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. You know, sometimes you can even repeat the same note, like I did at the end there. Okay, so hopefully you'll agree that just by simply changing one of the rhythms, you start getting some interesting stuff. Now, when you listen to jazz in general, the prominent rhythm that's often played is the 8th note rhythm. Okay, and sometimes, yes, we will mix it up and throw in another rhythm, or we might say, actually, what if we throw in some semiquavers, you know, or some 16th notes, and then you start getting some variation. But this right here is the primary rhythm. So if I played again my C Dorian using this rhythm, I might get some things like this. Let's see. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so hopefully you can hear how melody is rhythm plus pitch, and hopefully you can also hear that a strong improvisation depends primarily on a good rhythm. In fact, the rhythm doesn't even have to be good, it just has to be rhythmic. Okay, so in other words, I can play the same note and it will actually sound good. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you know, that's why some melodies sound good, like when Duke Ellington's going, you know, one note makes a beautiful melody right there. Okay, so I'm going to use these as my basis, but what would actually also get quite interesting is if I say to myself, you know what, it's important to play, but also it's probably even more important to not play sometimes. So what if I remove some of the notes? Okay, so I've got my 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and what if I just remove the first one? What sort of ideas could I come up with? You know, so I might go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm already getting some variety. Okay, I'm going to try that again over my C minor, and I'm going to see what I can come up with. So I'll play some ideas. I'm just going to remove the notes on the first beat. Okay, so let's try this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I've removed here. I could have just removed even just one note. Okay, so like if I removed the first 8th note, life could have also been quite interesting there. So if I had a rest here, I would have been going 1 and 2 and 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, played a note outside the scale, but whatever. The important thing is I'm thinking rhythm. Often, actually, when you play a wrong note, like a note you didn't intentionally want to play, but you play a correct rhythm, it often sounds okay. You know, so the remedy to wrong notes is just play good rhythm, and then you'll be fine. Okay, so in fact, sometimes what I'll do is I might even repeat a wrong note, and that just creates some interest in the listener's ears. They're like, that sounded interesting. Okay, so back to remember what we're talking about is playing motifs, and then after a while we'll talk about how we can develop those motifs. So the first step to actually playing a motif is to think rhythmically. Okay, so you want to think rhythmically. I often like to start with something simple. So right now I've been playing some one measure or one bar motifs. Okay, so I've been thinking about one bar rhythms, but if you want, you could play 2-bar melodies, which is basically, you can do this. If I had 2 of these things, then you're basically playing that. Okay, so if I changed maybe to this, suppose I had this and then I said, okay, I'm not going to play this. Let's see, what have I got now? I've got 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what we're saying is, number one, variety of rhythms is important, but also adding some rests is also just as important. It makes the music quite interesting. Okay, so if you want to get better at maybe creating motifs, one strategy that I've used often and that I recommend is that you just say, okay, I'm going to play first. Well, I like to practice things over one chord, and then I like to practice those things maybe over a chord progression. And then once I've done that so I've done it on one chord, I've done it in a chord progression, the next thing I'll do is I'll try it in an actual tune. The same idea. So I find it important and useful to practice one thing, but in those 3 contexts, basically, over one chord, over a chord progression, and then in a song. So I'm going to take this idea, and I am going to be simply creating my own motifs, maybe with no particular rhythms in mind. I'm just going to play the rhythms as they come to me. The only thing I will say is I will try and play a different melodic pattern each time. Okay, so let's see what we could probably come up with. So if I said, let's see, I'm going to do this over a C minor first, right? So I'm going to be trying to play a different motif, maybe 1 bar, sometimes 2 bar. Okay, but I'm going to play a different one each time over my C minor 7 chord. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. For this to be useful, the one thing that we must also include here is, as much as we are playing, it's also going to be very important to not play. So what we'll do is we'll say, suppose here we're going to play, in fact I'm going to say play, rest, play, rest. Okay. So play for 1 bar, rest for 1 bar, play for 1 bar, rest for 1 bar. Okay. If you're doing 2 bar phrases, then yes, you can play for 2, you can rest for 2, play for 2, rest for 2. Ultimately, this could be any combination of your choice. If you decide, okay, I'm going to play for 3 bars and rest for 1, that's fine. Or you can be like, I'm going to rest for 3 and play for 1. That's also fine. In fact, sometimes I find that very useful. If I play just 1 bar, so let's say I go 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4. I actually like that. That gives me time not only to hear or recall what I've just done, But it gives me time even to think about what I'm going to do next. So I can think about that in my head. Okay, and that's quite a useful trick. All right, so the first exercise is using that play rest combination. You can just be creating a motive, resting, play a motive, a new one, a different one, and rest. Then you start coming up with all sorts of things. Now that I've done it on one chord, I'm going to try the same thing, but this time on an actual, let me do it on a song actually. I'm going to use Summertime, because Summertime also makes use of that C minor. Okay, and I mean, just out of interest as to what I'm playing, I'm going to be thinking Summertime, C minor, so Summertime, then I'm going to go to F minor 7, and then I'm going to play a 2-5-1 in the key of C minor, so that means D minor 7 flat 5, and then a G7. I'm going to play a 2-5 in the key of E flat, and then I'm just going to play a turnaround. 1, 6. Actually, not a full turnaround. I'm going to go 1, 6 to the key of C minor. I'm going to play a 2-5. So that's a 2-5 in the key of C minor. Okay. I'll see if I can attach maybe the lead sheet or something to this video. Right. I'll do that. Right. So I'll attach a simple lead sheet of this. Actually, not lead sheet, but just a chord chart. Okay, so that you've got the chords. Right. So here is me playing motifs using my playing and resting approach, and I'm doing that over the chords for Summertime. Each motif I'm going to try and play a new one. Okay, so let's see. Here is the track. 2, 1, 2, 3. Rest 2, 3, 4, and rest 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest, resting. You know, and on that could go. So the idea is, I mean, as much as I said play, rest, one bar, the overall idea is play some, rest some, play some, rest some. And with regards to your rhythm, just try and play different rhythms each time. Sometimes you're going to play that, sometimes you're going to play that, sometimes you're going to play that, and that, you know. So basically we're messing around with rhythms and seeing what we can come up with. Okay, so that is what I like to think of as motivic playing. Okay, so if we were to give a topic, let's say, to this thing that we're practicing, is we're just practicing creating our own motifs. Now, where life gets interesting is where you create a motive and then you start developing it. Now, for me, that's where life gets really interesting. And I'm going to show you maybe a couple of things that you could do to develop your motives. My whole philosophy of improvisation, and this is something that I've heard multiple people say, Bill Evans, John Scofield, they all say improvisation is composing. So we've just learned how to compose a motive. Now let's see what we can do with that motive, because that's what even the great composers of classical music and so forth did. You know, they would play, then they'll be like, what if I play there? What if I play there? And then they'll be like, wait, that last one, what if I repeat that? Ooh, okay, so different rhythms. That's some variety that you can add. So we can actually learn something even from that. So in fact, that's exactly what we'll do. So the very first thing, and we're just paying tribute to the goat. So what he actually did in that example that I showed you is he played a motive and then he said, I'm going to start on a different note of my scale. Okay, so what if we said our motive over this C minor 7 chord is going to be something like let's say da 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 da. Actually, what if we put a rest on one of these? Maybe rest here. 1, 2, and dun da da dun da. 1 da da dun da da dun da 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 da. Okay, I'm gonna try that actually. So that means I could go 1. Okay, so I started on the same note, but then the rest of the notes were different. Let me try it completely different this time. So 1, and then I'm going to try it somewhere else. 1, 2. Yes, that actually works. I'm going to try and do that over just my C minor 7 chord. I'm going to move that motive around. Okay, so here we go. Ooh. 1 ba 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 da da ba. Okay. 2, 3, 4. 2. I'm gonna move it again. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we are starting on different notes of the scale. I'm using the Dorian, but I'm playing pretty much that same rhythm. Yeah, I know sometimes I think I was playing that more with a triplet feel, but that's besides the point. The important thing here is you take your one idea and you want to move that idea around. You could maybe maintain the same melodic shape, and what I mean by this is, let's say your notes are going up, right? So let's say that's how you've started, right? So you've gone 1, 2, and you went up and down. My next idea could follow the same shape, so I could go up and down. Okay, so now in musical terms, that's what we refer to as a sequence. Okay, I'm actually going to try that in. Let me do it over one chord first, and then I'll put it into summertime. 2, 1, 2, 3. I can do that and rest now. I'll add rests in there. So play rest. Rest, rest, rest. 2. It's even clearer now. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it could be the exact same shape, but it could also be same rhythm, but different shape. Okay, so let me try that and see what could happen. Okay, so there's all sorts of different possibilities. 1, 2, 3, and. So right there, I reversed everything. So where I was going up and down, this time I said I'm going down, then up. Okay, so that's part of, that's why we call it playing the piano, right? So that's you playing your instrument, okay, by moving these ideas around. You just say, okay, I'm going to try it like this. Ooh, this time I'm going to try it like this. Ah, actually, what if I tried it like this? Okay, and then that's where things get interesting. Let me try this over the actual song. Okay, so you don't have to play my exact examples or even that rhythm. Any rhythm this is just a rhythm that I kind of lucky dipped and I just landed on that. It could be anything. Okay, in fact, I'm going to change it. Right. Let's go. I'm playing it in summertime now. Same motive, but I'm going to develop it by playing it on different notes, sometimes keeping the same shape, sometimes changing the shape altogether. Let's see what could happen. Okay, so here what I was doing, play a motive, develop it, give you a new one, develop it, give you a new one, and develop it. Right, so you could use your play rest approach and practice these motifs this way. Sometimes you can decide to just turn your motive, develop it into a sequence, maybe without necessarily resting. So there are no hard and fixed rules about what you do, but I would encourage you to practice it both ways. So practice your ideas with rest, sometimes practice them without, and then life can get very interesting. I would also suggest and recommend that you start off with fairly simple pieces. So maybe don't do this on Donna Lee just yet, you know. Find something like I chose Summertime, simple chord progression, right? Just a few 2/5s in there, either in the major key or in the minor, but I'm basically staying in one key. I could just say I'm in the key of E flat, actually, you know, and sometimes I'm going to the 6, which is C minor, which is actually where I'm staying most of the time, but I'm generally in that same key. It's not like I'm starting there and then, suddenly I'm in the key of G flat major, you know. So find some simple things to start with, maybe Summertime, maybe some blue bossa, maybe some modal songs like So What, maybe some Watermelon Man's and Cantaloupe Island. Just find some simple stuff, maybe even a 12-bar blues. You can try out all these ideas there, and then I would be very interested in knowing how it's going for you with regards to this. So this here can be a good gateway into the world of improv. Okay, so there's some jazz improv, and very soon I'm going to be sharing even more videos on improvisation. I mean, lately I've just been focusing mostly on fundamentals because of the courses I've been creating, but I'm about to create for you a course on improv. If there's some more improv topics that you'd like me to include in the course, please let me know in the comments or just send me an email. I would love to share these ideas with you there. Okay, so if you enjoy the video, please be sure to click that subscribe button. Please give me a thumbs up and a like. If there's anything that's unclear, or if you've got any comments that could possibly help other people, please do let us know in the comments. And I usually say this, knowing these things is a good idea, but what's even more important is doing these things. So hopefully you can take away even just one thing from here. If it's just creating motifs, go for it. If it's developing motifs, go for it. If it's trying this out on one chord, go for it. If you can try it on a chord progression on a song, go for it. But do it, and you'll see some sort of transformation in your playing. I really hope to see you in your next video. Take care.